Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, May 19th, and I just finished my 39th show, which was my play. My kids put it on tonight. They did a really good job, but I'm going to show you some of the things I did to try to make tonight special. I'm very tired, but here's our set. That's our houses, our castles, our towers, and the woods. This was only on stage for a little bit and in dark lighting, so it's not, I painted it. It's not very good, but it was good enough. But let me show you some of the other stuff we did. It was a medieval fantasy play, so we had lots of 3D printed weapons. Looks like this one didn't survive. For some reason, I got weirdly obsessed with this little boat that was only on stage for like 10 seconds, but I spent a lot of time on it. Here's some more of our 3D weapons. I had this little area set up where kids could take pictures. We had this cardboard dragon that's different colors on different sides. We had some cardboard weapons that they could pose with. And this whole table was filled with paper and foam crowns and adhesive gems, and the kids got to decorate their own crowns. Here are some of the crowns that are left over. So we had some foam ones with a stretchy back and then some paper ones with a slotted back. Here are some of the gemstones they could add. We also had letters and numbers. It's not playing anymore, but I had a slideshow of the cast list with pictures from rehearsals of them practicing, going out here in the foyer. I had little dragons hidden all over the foyer. That was the play, by the way. It's an original called Fource upon a time. It's 4 different stories in one, although we only did 3 tonight. Hopefully we'll do the 4th one next year. In an effort to keep kids off their phones, I made these activity booklets for them. They're like old school restaurant placemats. So I had rules on the front that were themed to the play. And just all kinds of activities. We got maze, jokes, seek and find, crossword word search, code breaker, spot the difference, word unscramble, and to connect the dots. I ordered a whole box of these little golf pencils with erasers for kids to do their activity booklets. And I had 3D printed 50 dragons to give out to kids as they were leaving, and I don't see any left, so I think they all got claimed. Here's the programs. I'm trying to hide students' names, but I tried to make them really fancy, so they're a tri-fold big paper. And each act, it's got the cast list and the scenes for that act, because each act is a standalone story. And then it's got some info on Act 4, if we do that in the future. And then a little fantasy map showing how all the different kingdoms from the different stories are connected to each other. I used walkie-talkies to communicate with my spotlight operator, as well as my director's assistants, which were basically acting like stage managers for some of this. We had very little rehearsal time, so not everybody had all their routes memorized. So I had one in that wing with the walkie-talkie and one back behind there with the walkie-talkie, and I was in front, and then my spotlight back here. I had notes taped up in the wings to let everybody know what they needed to do for scene changes, who was moving what weapons, what props everybody needed. All these panels are double-sided, so we flipped them around for the different scenes. This was our throne, our royal throne, and we changed out the ribbons to match the color scheme for each act, which we did with all our tape marks too. So we had yellow, green, and red, and then blue was a scene change within an act. My sound operator did a really good job. One of my big pet peeves when I go see plays is when actors come on stage and start talking before they're unmuted. So I told her I really didn't want that to happen. She did a really good job. Here's what our scripts look like. We did it script in hand, because again, we didn't have a ton of time. I have all the roles color-coded to make it easier for them to follow along. This is junior high kids. So rather than just the names written in capitals, I have everything color-coded to make it easier to keep track of their part. At one point, we needed a character to change into a were-dragon wizard on stage in the dark. So I just gave her a little lantern back here so that she could see what she was doing back behind the back curtain so that no one else could see her. This was a no-budget show. So my mother made the female costumes, or there were some that she thrifted and then altered to fit our girls. This was something that a student owned, but we didn't end up using. I made the male costumes, which just consisted of cutting the hems off of t-shirts, and then I had them all wear khakis. Our shoes were just some plain colored slippers so that they wouldn't be distracting from the medieval theme. All of the sets, the backgrounds were all styrofoam. The set pieces, the throne, the white chair, and those tables were things that I thrifted. We also used a lot of wooden dining room chairs that I just had in my house. So very much a no-budget show. So I am exhausted, and I'm desperately trying to not include any student information in the background of these shots. So I'm gonna pack up and head home. Sorry, I know this is hard to see, but I already turned the lights off. But I didn't want to limit where people could sit, but I just put out these notices just saying that, like, if you sit in the bleachers, it might be hard to see some of the stage. If you sit too far back, it might be hard to hear. So we had most people sitting in chairs pretty close, but we did have a couple people sitting off to the sides. We had debated not putting the bleachers out, but I think this was a good compromise. Also, like a week and a half ago, I smashed my finger in the spotlight when I was trying to lower it. And then tonight, I cut my hand open while moving stuff on stage. So I know they say blood, sweat, and tears. I definitely got the blood and sweat covered. Okay, it's about an hour after the show ended. I'm sitting in my car, getting ready to go home, but I just want to take a minute. My kids are awesome, man. If I haven't mentioned it before, this is the first play that this junior high has ever done. There used to be a high school here that did plays. That closed down like 25 years ago. So there haven't been any plays at this school or in this town since then. And we started talking about this last year, just kind of out of nowhere. And it took us some time, and it took some creative scheduling. My admin was a big help. The school board was supportive. My staff was supportive. But these kids, man, and these guys, I mean, these were volleyball champions, basketball champions. We just had the state track meet this weekend, and we had state track winners in different events. Like, these kids are awesome. And I wrote this play before I started working at the school, just because I write stuff for myself sometimes. Never thought it'd actually get performed. So this is a very, very cool night for me. And the tears did come. I had a very lovely, sounds like someone's coming up to me, but I don't think they are. I had a very lovely note left by one of my 8th graders, my soundboard operator, who just got our music award at graduation last week. Graduation was last Friday. These 8th graders were willing to come back in after graduation to get this performance done. We only had one no-show today, and other kids stepped up to cover that role, and they did really good. One of the kids that volunteered to cover a big role just moved here like a week and a half ago. And she wanted to step up and do that because she didn't have any big parts because she had moved in so late. So these kids are awesome. I'm so proud of them. And I really hope that this is the start of building a new program here. It won't always be this big of a production, but I wanted to start off with a bang, and I didn't want to go easy on them. I wanted them to, this was an hour and a half long show. I know that's short compared to something, but like for a junior high show, that's long. 3 totally different stories with different sets of characters and costume changes and scene changes. Like, this was a lot, and you could argue that it was a bad idea for me to do that for their first show, but I really like just throwing stuff at kids and seeing how well they handle it, and man, they handled it so well. And even if we take it down a notch next year, it'll just be because now we know what we're good at and what we need to work on, and then we can focus on building up those things. So really just hopefully the audio is okay here because my air conditioning is on. And I apologize. I know the clips that I filmed were not filmed well. I'm just really tired, and I'm trying to get this done, and maybe I'll just reshoot it all tomorrow. I don't know, but I try to keep things genuine, and genuine things aren't polished. And that's true of my videos, and it was true of our play tonight, but they did really, really well. I'm really proud of them. I wish I could see the 8th graders again to tell them how proud of them that I am. I'll see them again, but not tomorrow. We've got a big event on Friday that I think some of them are going to come back for, so. Now I get to drive home, and I was gifted many, many snacks, but one of my gifts to myself was some ice cream from the local ice cream shop. Shout out, Bradford Snack Shack. So I'm going to eat this and drive home. Hopefully get some good sleep tonight. If I don't check back in anymore of this video, thank you for watching, and have a good day.